Okay, it looks like we're back with another week, another movie. And this week we're going to be talking about the new film everyone's talking about, A Violent Nature, which premiered in 2023 at the Sundance Film Festival midnight horror showing and was theatrically released in the States in May 2023. Now, me and David watched this last night, and well, David's a little pissed.
Mm.
Okay, well, to start off, the film is written, directed by Chris Nash, he's from Canada, and apparently everything we saw was filmed in Canada. Which he went to one location, but he says it just wasn't filling it because he wanted this film to be a nature documentary showcasing the killer as the predator and the other people as the prey, and that's why he chose not to have a musical score, pretty much. And
The
so
story.
David, and also the way that it's shot is apparently something that he wanted to do because he said it reminded him of the VHS horror movies that he watched growing up. So that's why it was important to him that he shot in this ratio. So David, what are your thoughts? First
Okay, can you
impressions.
can you just repeat what you said to me before we started the video? What he got inspiration from Gus Van Sant?
Yes, it says that he drew inspiration from Gus Van Sant's directed films Jerry 2002, Elephant 2003, and Last Days 2005, which Nash characterizes as slower, more methodical, more deliberate, and follows characters through a scene. So this is what he was going for in his work at Violent Nature.
Okay, we got it records. We got it on tape. What the hell? How dare he actually compare his movie to Gus Van Sant? This is just no. No, 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 no. That's not good at all. We're gonna have to do a video about Elephant and actually compare both movies to see actually which one's the best one. But no, okay. Nature documentary definitely was a nature documentary because for 90% of the movie we just saw what? Flies, forest, trees, ferns.
But they were beautifully shot.
Oh, please.
I'm just saying.
Oh, please. Please, if I wanted to watch a nature documentary, I would have looked at the Discovery Channel.
Yes, and apparently he wanted to shoot this in his hometown, but he said that when they were scouting locations and they had initially started filming, it wasn't giving him the vibe that he wanted. So that's why he chose another area of Canada in Ontario to do this. So
Okay, it got the vibe of me trying to try my new cameras when we actually went hiking. That's a vibe he gave, just saying. I am sorry, okay. So for you take this long story short, actually we've been hearing about this movie for quite a while now, and everyone just being, "Oh, it's such a best movie ever," and all this, and we were exciting about watching that movie,
yeah,
and the
I mean,
movie starts, and we were not excited anymore.
people really, really hyped this film up. They were even comparing some of the kills to better than Terrifier 2, and
Hmm.
I think some people were even praising it as like one of the best horror movies of the decade so far. And it's just like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You can probably watch Friday the 13th Part 2. Have a much better experience.
I'm gonna say this the idea he had actually was to actually switch everything and to go towards just the look of the killer, so to looking at the victim. And the big flaws about this is if you actually always with the killer, there is not a single piece of tension in a movie whatsoever.
Yeah,
It's like watching paint dry. We actually don't have any scares or anything else, 'cause we just see what the killers is saying. And this is
yeah.
one of the biggest flaws in the movie.
But I don't necessarily think that it is the biggest flaw. I think just having the killer not speak was probably it because there are some villains or some killers that you could gradually grow to love and root for them if they had more of character development. I think that's what this movie lacks a lot is character development. I know
Mhm.
they try to do it with scenery and shots and a glimpse of here, a glimpse of there, but it doesn't quite do it. Like it's still met with, I don't really care about any of these characters. Sure, the one or two of the kills have been cool, but all in all, it's just like, what was the point? I don't know.
Yeah, the human, I would say the human characters compared to the monster zombie thing, were all none of them were actually even people will want to root for. None of them. The final girl is just like the one we just hear the less about. I know she talk about the ki- the thingy of a boyfriend being actually small enough to put a ring on it.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
this is the only thing we know about that woman, and she's a final girl. The kills, sorry, but there's maybe two kills actually that was, I guess, all right. But the way it was shot was just dull, like really dull. There would have been some really great way of doing this, but it was just dull. The story, what story? Oh yes. Oh, I'm looking for my necklace. Let's go Harry Potter, let's go the Horcruxes or whatever. It was just like, and there's certainly other films that actually had the same kind of idea of actually switch it and just go towards the killer instead of going to the victim, who are doing a great job. They're doing a great job about it, which is Beyond the Mask, The Legend of Leslie Vernon, where
Yeah.
all the movie you follow the killer, and it's amazing, it's funny, it's thrilling, and you also got I think was a movie from 2018, I think, called You Could Be the Killer. I think it's called You Could Be the Killer with Alison Hannigan,
Yes.
where
Yes.
we actually follow also someone who happened to be the killer, but he doesn't know it until he realizes he is a killer and he tries to stop killing, but he's control. And that again, that was actually following a killer and actually make it exciting. This movie was 90% let's walk in the woods. Oh, look, there is a let's hear the maggots and the thing. It's just okay.
Well, apparently, this is a new, quote unquote, new genre that they're calling uh, ambient horror, ambient
Okay.
slashers. So,
Skinny Marink is ambient horror.
but
This was trash. This was trash. There was nothing even
like,
exciting.
David was saying, there was a big lack of tension because in a lot of slashers, I feel like when you watch a slasher, one of the biggest things that keeps you on the edge of your seat is who's next? Where's the killer? Is the killer going to pop out here? Going to pop out there? What's going to happen? But
Mm.
in here, we know where the killer is all of the time.
I think finally was one time I was just getting fed up of hearing the flies. Like you just hear, they see your ears flies. And it's just, oh damn, another fly. It's just like there's only flies there. It's a fly, the fly all the time. It was just like, and they don't have much. I don't know. They say it's gorier than Terrifier.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but the most the less gory scene in Terrifier are actually gorier than the goriest scene in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think something that really got me though was just okay. So I went through to see some other YouTube videos to see how other people felt about this, and reading some of the comments, it was amazing to me that a lot of people have said that the yoga scene where she's folded like a pretzel was probably the most traumatic scene they've ever seen in a horror movie. I'm just like, what horror movies are you guys watching?
I know because no, I'm sorry. Let's go and see society and actually see if this not basically when you got all the rich people just melting into one guy in an orgy scene. That's disturbing.
Yeah, it's like the only scene that really kind of made me a little. I don't know. It's probably the scene where he paralyzed him and then slowly, chopped him up. But what is it going to be up there with some of the greatest kills that I've ever seen? No, far from it. But
It would have
it
been
definitely. I feel like it was one of the more memorable things to me. It was more memorable than the yoga thing, but
it
whatever.
would have been much more. Would have been much more. Oh, that's a wannabe director talking, but it would have been much more effective if the camera would have been at the POV of the character, looking at the thing coming slowly towards him. That would have been much more effective than because pretty much that scene, most of that scene is actually blurry. It's just, I'm sorry, the arm is cutting is longer than the other arm. Haven't you realized that? I was just thinking I couldn't get off to see that actually the arm was longer than actually the other arm. Just like it was not even, they weren't even trying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all in all, this movie was kind of a letdown for me. I was actually
It
excited to
was.
see it,
Same.
but yeah, and I know they say, everyone keeps saying it's an experimental or don't expect too much, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not the vibe that we got going into this movie. Everyone that
Mm-hmm.
has talked about it was like, "Oh, you need to see it. It's incredible, groundbreaking, revolutionary." It's just,
Yep.
it's very
That's why should
peaceful.
be
I
listen to
mean,
people.
well, Chris Nash definitely does have a future in directing, but maybe nature documentaries because it was peaceful. I'll give him that.
Oh,
Maybe even not an opera, maybe once.
it was just like I was exciting about it until I was sorry to you. It started and I was just like, okay, that's interesting. The killer's gonna come. And then from the moment when he come to the house and this person leave with a car and doesn't stop. I am sorry, when I'm actually driving, I look at the mirror to see I would have seen that thing coming in there. No, the person leaves, just like, what? And that's been all the time this thing. It was just like it didn't make any sense to me. The killer was just run of the mill. It was just not even. We don't have much basically a background. We don't
Yeah.
even know if the story they were talking about actually were true.
Well, He's got this whole character going on. It's like what, a fireman, like an old fireman, because the helmet that he's wearing is like an old fireman's helmet. So
Or
I didn't.
if you listen to actually the background when they talk about the legend, it was supposed to
Mm,
be a kid.
okay. Yeah.
It was supposed to be a kid. The kid
Yeah.
looked like he's 13. Just like it doesn't work. If you want to be a kid, make it a kid. But that could have been creepier actually to have a kid. Now we actually have someone who looks like a 30-year-old. You are trying to believe that's a kid who actually put a mask on to
Yeah.
actually
And
take revenge. It doesn't make
I
sense.
really just need to have a word though with people who are saying that these kills were groundbreaking. I mean, you could probably
Mm.
watch Hatchet 1, 2, or 3,
Oh
and see
yes,
more innovative kills. I'm sorry, but
I know.
you guys, come on now. We need to do better.
Yeah, this is not the movie we are looking for. Oh, Star Wars
Mm.
reference. Hey. Okay. Mm.
Oh, so David, anything else you want to add?
Please go and see Beyond the Mask and You Could Be the Killer. Better movies. This movie deserve love. They actually this made by directors who actually had a vision and deserve to actually be seen much more than it's been already. Do not bother with that movie, please. Do not bother. We've all been looking at the last Exorcist movie as actually a bad movie. The last Exorcist movie was way, way better than we were just seeing yesterday. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I really don't understand what people want anymore because this has been like the review darling lately, and it was just meh. And then the other movies that are actually trying a little bit more innovative, they're just all like, "Oh, worst movie I've ever seen in my life." It's just, I don't know what you guys want, but maybe you can tell us in the comments.
Please do.
And on that note,
Well, see you next time.
yeah, see you
With a
guys
better
next time.
movie.
Bye.
Bye bye.